Nothing is worth more than this day by Kathryn and Ross Petras. The beginning is always today. My future starts when I wake up every morning. That's when it starts. When I wake up and see the first light, then I'm grateful. Every day we are engaged in a miracle which we do not even recognize. A blue sky, white clouds, green leaves, the black curious eyes of a child, our own eyes. All is a miracle. People don't realize how important it is to wake up every morning with a song in your heart. It takes no more time to see the good side of life than to see the bad side. What day is it? It's today, squeaked Piglet. My favorite day, said Pooh. Rules for happiness, something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. If you feel like tapping your feet, tap your feet. If you feel like clapping your hands, clap your hands. And if you feel like taking off your shoes, take off your shoes. We're here to have a ball. So, we want you to leave your worldly troubles aside and come in here and swing. You can't deny laughter. When it comes, it plops down in your favorite chair and stays as long as it wants. I have found that if you love life, life will love you back. At times our own lights go out, and it's rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has a cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flames within us. Stay low, stay quiet, keep it simple. Don't expect too much, enjoy what you have. If the only prayer you said in your whole life was, thank you, that would suffice. When you arise in the morning, think of what you have as a precious privilege. It is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. One of the secrets of happy lives is a continuing of small treats. Since you get more joy out of giving joy to others, you should put a good deal of thought into the happiness that you are able to give. If everyone started off the day singing, just think how happy that they would be. If it sounds good and feels good, then it is good. Your problem is how you are going to spend this one odd and precious life you have been issued. Whether you're going to live it trying to look good or creating an illusion that you have the power over people or circumstances, or whether you are going to taste it, enjoy it, and find out the truth about who you are. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more life in life there is to celebrate. These flowers will be rotten in a couple hours. Birds will crap on them. Smoke here will make them stink. And tomorrow a bulldozer will probably run them over. But for right now, they're so beautiful. With the past as past, I have nothing to do, nor with the future as future. I live now, and I will verify the all past history in my own moments. I can't begin to describe a day as wonderful as this, one marvel after another, each lasting less than 5 minutes, and was enough to drive one mad. Stop a moment, cease your work, look around you. I, not events, have the power to make me happy or unhappy today. I can choose which shall be. Yesterday is dead. Tomorrow hasn't arrived yet. I have just one day, today, and I'm going to be happy in it. Each day in itself brings within it an eternity. If you enjoy living, it's not difficult to keep a sense of wonder. If you ever want to enjoy life, now is the time. Not tomorrow, not next year, nor in some future. Life after we have died, today should always be our most wonderful day. Laughter is an instant vacation. It doesn't matter if I'm offbeat. It doesn't matter if I'm snapping to the rhythm. It doesn't matter if I look like a complete goon when I dance. It is my dance. It's my moment. It's mine. And I could dance as I will. Try and stop me. You'll probably get kicked in the face. I'm just enjoying my life. I suggest you try it. You will never be happy if you continue to search for happiness as it consists of. You will never live if you're looking for the meaning of life. Let a joy keep you. Reach out your hands and take it when it runs by. Pick the day, enjoy it. To the hilt, the day as it comes, people as they come. The past, I think, has helped me to appreciate the present, and I don't want to spoil any of it by fretting about it or fretting about the future. One of the most tragic things I know about human nature is that all of us tend to put off living. We are all dreaming of some magical rose garden over in the horizon instead of enjoying the roses that are blooming outside of our own windows today. It is fun to have fun, but you have to know how. When reality looks too ugly, fantasize. I think it's a cool thing to just wake up right. It was beautiful earlier today. The sky was outrageous. Rembrandt, Picasso, Van Gogh, they don't have a palette like that. That firmament that God gets to work with every day. Even on a lazy day, it just blows my mind. Life is short and there will always be dirty dishes, so let's dance. Happy, just in my swim shorts, barefooted, wild hair, and a red fire dark singing, swigging wine, spitting, jumping, running. That's the way to live. I'm struck by how laughter connects you with people. It is impossible to maintain any kind of distance or any sense of social hierarchy when you're just howling with laughter. Laughter is a force of democracy. There it is, happiness. Here it comes, closer and closer. I can hear its footsteps, and if we never see it or know it, well, that's all right too. Others will. As long as I live, I hear waterfalls, birds, and winds sing. I'll interpret the rocks, learn the language of the floods, the storms, and the avalanche. I'll acquaint myself with the glaciers and the wild gardens and get as near to the heart of the world as I can. Life is a shit sandwich. My ass, life's a polka, and don't you forget it. I have not yet lost the feeling of wonder and of delight, and this delicate motion should reside in all of the ordinary things around us, revealing itself only to whom looks for it. I remember in this winter of our first experiments, just 7 years ago, looking on the snow with new eyes. There's no snow laying around my doorstep. Great heaps of protons quietly processed in the Earth's magnetic field. To see the world for a moment as something rich and strange and a private reward of many and discovery. Either peace or happiness lets you enfold you. Laughter is immeasurable. Be joyful, though you have considered all the facts. As long as we live, there's never enough singing. And I've learned what is obvious to a child, that life is simply a collection of little lives. Little ones lived one day at a time, that each day should be spent finding beautiful flowers, poetry, talking to animals. That day spent with dreaming and of sunsets, refreshing breezes that cannot be bettered. If your sight of the blue skies fills you with joy, it's a blade of grass springing up out of the fields as the power to move you. If the simple things of nature have a message that you understand, rejoice, for your soul is alive. God, you have blessed you richly, so get down on your knees and thank Him. Don't forget the less fortunate, or God will personally kick your ass. I'd love to do that for Him, but I can't be everywhere. Dance till the stars come down with the rafters. Dance, dance, dance till you drop. Neglect no opportunity to play leapfrog. It is the best of all games. It will never become professionalized. Think big, thoughts but relish small pleasures. Can you see the holiness in those things you take for granted? A paved road or a washing machine? If you can concentrate on finding the good in every situation, you'll discover in your life will suddenly be filled with gratitude, a feeling that nurtures the soul. Everything in the world is beautiful, but man only recognizes beauty if he sees the other seldom or from afar. Listen today. We're all gods. Our blue shadows are enormous. We move in a gigantic, joyous world. To me, life is without veal, stock, pork fat, sausage, organ meat, demi-glace, or even stinky cheese in a life not worth living. If you look the right way, you can see that the whole world is a garden. What I know for sure is that every day brings a chance for you to draw in a breath, kick off your shoes and step out and dance and live a free, regret-free and filled with as much joy, fun, laughter as you can. Joy in the old pencil is not absurd. We can't actually fly to another planet, but we can recapture that sense of having just tumbled out of life on a new world by looking out at our own in unfamiliar ways. All that he saw for one moment, breathless and intense, vivid on the morning sky, and still as he looked as he lived, and still as he lived, he wondered. Tell the truth, sing with passion, work with laughter, love with your heart, 'cause that's all that mattered in the end. Why aren't we dancing with joy at the every moment we can? Is that only a relevant spiritual question? Be happy. It's the only way of being wise. Isn't it nice to think that tomorrow is a new day with no mistakes in it yet? The thing that brought me the most comfort now were the too small to list raspberries in cream, sparrows with the cocked heads, shadows on the bare limbs making for sidewalk filigrees, roses past their prime with their petals loose about them, the shouts of children at play in the neighborhood, Ginger Rogers on the black and white screen. When you do something noble and beautiful and nobody noticed, do not be sad, for the sun every morning is a beautiful spectacle, and yet most of the audience still sleeps. For one wild, glad moment, we snap the chain that binds us to earth, and joining hands with the winds, we felt ourselves divine. Make connections, let rip, and dance whenever you can. Pie makes everybody happy. Just now, I press the elevator button and I'm looking for it to arrive quickly. I get into the elevator and I'm thankful for the elevator cable didn't snap or plummet me to the basement. I go to the 5th floor and I'm thankful that I didn't have to stop for the 2nd or 3rd floor. I get out and I'm thankful that Julie left the door unlocked so I don't have to rummage for my King Kong key ring. I walk in, I'm thankful that Jasper is home and healthy and stuffing his face with pineapple wedges. On and on, I'm actually muttering to myself, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's an odd way to live, but also kind of great and powerful. I've never before been so aware of the thousands of little things, the thousands of things that go every night and then every day. He's a wise man who does not grieve for the things he has not, but rejoices for all which he has. Thank goodness for the first snow. It was a reminder that no matter how old you become and how much you'd seen things, you'd still be new if you weren't willing to believe they still mattered. Things of all the beauty that's still left in and around you, and be happy. Think of all the beauty that's still left in you and around you, and be happy. As long as there was coffee in the world, how bad could things be? On with the dance. Let joy be unconfined is my motto. Whether there's any dance to dance or any joy to unconfine, the world is full of magic, things patiently waiting for our own senses to grow sharper. Consider the lilies of the field. Look at the fuzz on the baby's ear. Read in the backyard with the sun on your face. Learn to be happy and think of life as a terminal illness, because if you do, you will live it with joy and passion, and it ought to be lived. I don't trust anyone who doesn't laugh. My mom used to say, a truly happy person is one who can enjoy the scenery on a detour. A homeless man visited my store today. The few quarters that he had in his pocket he invested in books. I offered him free books, but he insisted on giving me his quarters. He walked away and filled with joy as if he possessed the world's riches in his hands. And in a way, he did. He left me smiling and knowing that he was that much wealthier than many others. The present moment is filled with joy, happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. Live in the sunshine, swim in the sea, drink the wild air's celebrity. Nothing is worth more than this day. There's not one blade of grass that has no color in the world that is not intended to make us rejoice. I'm grateful for what I am, what I have. My thanksgiving is perpetual. It surprises me how contented one can be with nothing definite, only a sense of existence. Well, anything for variety. I'm ready to try this for the next 1,000 years and exhausted. How sweet to think of. My extremities, well charred in my intellectual part too. So there's no danger of worm or rot for a long while. My breath is sweet to me. Oh, how I laugh when I think of the vague, indefinite riches. No run on my back can drain it, for the wealth is not possessions, but enjoyment. You are imperfect, permanently and inevitably flawed, and you are beautiful. I find ecstasy in every living thing. The mere sense of living is joy enough. Joy does not simply happen to us. We have to choose joy and keep choosing it every day. Breathe and live. And the opportunity to try. If you have nothing more, you always have that. You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that's given to you today. It's given to you as a gift. It's the only gift that you have right now. It's the only appropriate response. It's just to have gratefulness. If you do nothing else but to cultivate that response to the great gift that this unique day is, if you learn to respond as if it were the first day in your life and the very last day of your life, then you will have spent this day very well. I look out the window and I see the lights and the skyline and the people on the street rushing around looking for action, love, and the world's greatest chocolate chip cookie, and my heart does a little dance. Self-actualizing people have the wonderful capacity to appreciate again and again, freshly and naively, the basic goods of life with awe, pleasure, wonder, and even ecstasy. Don't look at your feet to see if you are doing it right. Just dance. Enthuse widely and often. As long as the sun is shining, shit can't be that bad. Sometimes it's moments like that's real complicated moments, absorbing moments that make you realize that even hard times have things in them that make you feel alive. And then there's music. And then there's homeless people who've read Pauline Kael and Wawa Petals and the English potato chip flavor. And I haven't even read Martin Chuzzlewit yet. There's plenty of stuff out there. I was especially perceptive to all things beautiful that morning. Raspberries and blue china bowls were enough to make my heart sing. Live in each season as it passes. Breathe the air, drink the drink, taste the fruit. Resign yourself to the influences of each. Seize the moments of happiness, love and be loved. That is the only reality in this world. All else is folly. It's the one thing we are interested in here. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit, and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy? It was only a sunny smile and a little cost in the giving, but like morning light, it scattered the night and made the day worth living. Rosiness is not a worse window pane than gloomy gray when viewing the world. You are a universe of universes, and your soul a source of songs. Everything in the universe has a rhythm. Everything dances. For most of life, nothing wonderful happens if you don't enjoy getting up and working and finishing your work and sitting down to a meal with family and friends. The chances you're not going to be very happy if someone bases his happiness or unhappiness on major events like a great job or huge amounts of money or flawlessly happy marriage or a trip to Paris. That person isn't going to be very happy much of the time. If, on the other hand, happiness depends on a good breakfast, flowers in the yard, a drink, or a nap, then we're more likely to live a bit quieter and a bit more of happiness. Nobody can be uncheered with a balloon. Nobody can be uncheered with a balloon. When the moonlit night, you see a wide village street with its pleasant houses, haystacks, sleeping willows. Tranquility enters the soul. In this calm, wrapped in the shade of night, free from struggle, anxiety, and passions, everything is gentle, wistful, beautiful, and it seems that the stars are watching over and tenderly with love, and that it's taking place somewhere unearthly, and that all is well. We are all here for a spell. Get all the good laughs you can. In the joy of your heart, make you feel the living joy that sang one spring morning, sending its glad voices across 100 years. The trick is to enjoy life. Don't wish away your days, waiting for better ones ahead. The grand and simple, they are equally wonderful. Rejoice in the things that are present. All else is beyond thee. I got the blues thinking of the future, so I left off and made some marmalade. It's amazing how it cheers you up to shred some oranges and scrub the floors. Every day is a gift, a new beginning, bound out with a bed with enthusiasm of a child. Years ago, I had a Buddhist teacher in Thailand who would remind all his students that there was always something to be thankful for. He'd say, "Let's rise, let's be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we may have learned a little. And if we didn't learn even a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we did get sick, at least we didn't die. So let us all be thankful." I yelled for joy. We passed the bottle. The great blazing stars came out. The far receded sand hills got dim. I felt like an arrow that could shoot all the way out. Joy is the grace we say to God. You're so. You're not going to make me have a bad day. If there's oxygen on Earth and I'm breathing, I'm going to have a very good day. The spectacle of the sky overwhelms me. I'm overwhelmed when I see a crescent moon on the sun in an immense sky. Life is more fun if you play games. Oh, the country, the fresh breezy meadow out back. The air just galumps towards you. It sweeps and sweeps and sweeps and sweeps over you. And the meadowlark singing. That's what I'd wake up to every morning in Iowa. But I sure hated the flies and the mosquitoes. We don't know where we're going, but isn't it fun to just go? Sail on solar wind, hone and spread your spirit till yourself are a sail, wetted, translucent, broadside to the merest puff. Set wide the window, let me drink the day. Each day I go to my studio full of joy. In the evening, when obliged to stop because of darkness, I can scarcely wait for the morning to come. If I cannot give myself my dear painting, I am miserable. Then let us laugh. It is the cheapest luxury a man enjoys, and Charles Lamb says it's worth 100 groans in any state of the market. It stirs up the blood, it expands the chest, it electrifies your nerves, it clears away the cobwebs from the brain, and gives the whole system a shock from which the voltaic pile is nothing. The nay is delicious alchemy, converts even tears into a quintessence of merriment, and makes wrinkles themselves expressive of youth and frolic. We either make ourselves happy or miserable. The amount of work, it's the same. Peace, happiness, and joy is possible during the time I drink my tea. Just tell yourself, Ducky, you're really quite lucky. So you're made of detritus from exploded stars. Get over it, or better yet, celebrate it. After all, what nobler thought can one cherish that the universe lives within us? Hey, I've got nothing to do today but smile. Just play, have fun, enjoy the game. Why do they not teach you that time is a finger snap? It's an eye blink. And if you should not allow the moment to pass you without taking joyous, ecstatic notes of it, not wasting a single moment of it, swift breakneck circuit. The sun is always shining someplace. Today you're here. Nothing you can do will change that. Today you're alive and here and honored and blessed with a good fortune. Look at the sunset. It's so beautiful. Nah? Well, this sunset exists. Tomorrow does not exist. There is only now. Please look. It is so beautiful. It will never happen ever again. Never not this sunset. Never in all of its infinity. Lose yourself in it. Make yourself one with nature. And do not worry about karma, yours, mine, or that of the village. Happiness is like the swallows of spring. It may come and nest under the eaves, or it may not. You cannot command it. When you expect to be happy, you are not. When you don't expect to be happy, there's suddenly Easter in your soul, though it may be midwinter. I'm grateful for those who are keepers of the groove, the babies of the grandmas, who hang on to it and help us remember when we forget that here, any kind of dancing is better than no dancing at all. You could choose to focus on the surprises and pleasures or frustrations, and you can also choose to appreciate the smallest scraps of experience, the everyday moments, or to value only the grandest, most stirring ones. Ultimately, the real question is whether you want to be happy. It is no bad thing celebrating a simple life. The storm is over. There is sunlight in my heart. I have a glass of wine and sit and think of what has passed. Throw your dreams into space like a kite, and you don't have to know what it'll bring back. A new life, a new friend, a new love, a new country. But this is what I'm finding in glimpses and in flashes. This is it. This is it. In the best possible way. That thing I'm waiting for, that adventure, that movie, that score-worthy experience unfolding gracefully. This is it. A normal, daily life ticking by on our streets and sidewalks, in the houses and apartments, in our beds, in our dinner tables, in our dreams and prayers, in our fights and secrets. This pedestrian life is the most precious thing any of us will ever experience. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars. See yourself running with them. Seize the moment. Remember, all those women on the Titanic who waved off the desert cart? People from a planet without flowers would think we must be mad with joy the whole time we have such things about us. Life is what you celebrate, all of it, even its end. There are so many people you don't know what they want. And I think that in this world, that's the only thing you have to know exactly is what you want. Doing what you were born to do. That's the way to be happy. To be happy, if you're not even happy, what's so good about surviving? So be happy. I like to wake up each morning and not know what I think, what I may reinvent of myself in some sort of way. I know that I'm mortal, my nature and ephemeral, but when I trace at my pleasure the windings to a fro in a heavenly bodies, I no longer touch earth with my feet. I stand in the presence of Zeus himself and take my fill of the ambrosia. Joy is what happens to us when we allow ourselves to recognize how good things really are. I'm far from being a pessimist. On the contrary, in spite of my scars, I'm tickled to death with life. If the day and the night are such that you greet them with joy, and life emits a fragrance like flowers, a sweet-scented herbs, it's more elastic, more starry, more immortal than is your success. Life is beautiful, magnificent thing, even to a jellyfish. I still get wildly enthusiastic about little things. I play with leaves, I skip down the street, I run against the wind. In a world where thrushes sing and willow trees are golden in the spring, boredom should have been included among the 7 deadly sins. You need to let the little things that would ordinarily bore you suddenly thrill you. Life is a gateway, a path to paradise anyway. Why not live for the fun and joy and love in some sort with a girl by a fireside? Why not go to your desires and laugh? Before the tsunami, I always looked to the future, always had millions of lists of things to do. If I were talking to you, I would not be here. I would be thinking of something that was coming up. Now I'm talking to you. I'm here. I'm present with you. It's one of the most important things I've learned, to be present, because in this moment, I'm creating the future. If we don't live now, we are losing the opportunity to live. If we don't live now, we are missing life. I'm in London watching the wind blow through the tree, and it's the most beautiful thing to see. I laugh every day. There are days when my laughs are pretty hollow. Dust comes out of my mouth and your bones make a funny sound, but I'm laughing. Watch the sun rise at least once a year. Put a lot of marshmallows in on the hot chocolate. Lie on your back and look at the stars. Never buy a coffee table you can't put your feet on. Never pass up a chance to jump on a trampoline. Don't overlook life's small joys while searching for the big ones. There are flowers everywhere for those who want to see them. Try to learn to breathe deeply. Really, to taste food when you eat. When you sleep, really sleep. Try to as much as you can possibly to be wholly alive with all your might. When you laugh, laugh like hell. And when you get angry, get good and angry, but just try to be alive. A morning glory at my window satisfies me more than the metaphysics of my books. And the corollary to carpe diem, a vein that runs deeply through the rock of poetry, is gratitude. Gratitude for simply being alive, for having a day to seize, the taking of breath, the beating of the heart. Gratitude for the natural world around us, the massing clouds, the white ibis by the shore. The Barcelona, the poetry competition is held every year. There are 3 prizes. The 3rd prize is the rose made of silver. The 2nd prize is the golden rose. The 1st prize is a rose, a real rose, the flower itself. Think of that next time the term priorities come up. I think it pisses God off if you walk by a color purple in a field somewhere and don't even notice it. People think pleasing God is what God cares about. But any fool living in the world can see it's always trying to please it's always trying to please us back. Perhaps I'm not even if in my own little dog knows me, but I always like that I have and now is today. Perhaps I am not, even if my little dog knows me. But anyway, I like what I have and now is today. If you see the world as beautiful, thrilling, and mysterious as I do, then you'll feel quite alive. 3 o'clock in the morning, the soft April night is looking at my windows and caressingly winking at me with the stars. I can't sleep. I'm so happy. Life is made of moments, small pieces of glittering mica in a long stretch of gray cement. It would be wonderful if they came to us unsummoned, but particularly in our lives as busy as the ones most of us lead now. But they won't, and that won't happen. We have to teach ourselves how to make room for them, to love them, and to live, and to really live. Do anything, but let it produce joy. Forever is composed of nows. There's a condition inside from which you look at in the stars with amazement and awe, that listens to the water with the river flowing, or the water falling in the rain as it's lifting up, but by that and listens to a wonderful singer, a wonderful musician, listening to maybe Duke Ellington or Frank Sinatra, or listens to Odetta or Mary J. Blige, and yes, and things, and thinks, who? Happiness is sporadic. It comes in moments, and then it extracts the blood from every moment. Enjoy your life. No curse hangs over you, nor did it ever. No devil chases after your soul. Sing and dance and be merry. I wanted a perfect ending. Now I've learned the hard way that some poems don't really rhyme. Some stories don't have a clear beginning, middle, or an end. Life is about not knowing, having to change, taking the moment and making the best of the moment without knowing what's going on in the next moments. Delicious ambiguity. Pay attention. Don't let life go by you. Fall in love with the back of your cereal box. Keep fighting for freedom, justice, beloved, but don't you forget to have fun doing it. Lord, let your laughter ring forth. Be outrageous. Ridicule the fraidy cats. Rejoice in all the oddities of the freedom that you can produce. And you will get through kicking ass and celebrating the sheer joy of a good life. Be sure to tell those who come after how much fun it was. Too much of a good thing can be wonderful. This is what makes me happy. An evening in bed with a good book, any music-free restaurant. As you can see, it doesn't take much to make me happy. A good night's sleep. A grandson who offers to clean the snow off my driveway. Also, maybe fix my computer. If only we'd stop trying to be happy, we'd have a pretty good time. The passing moment is all that we can have to be sure of. It's the only common sense to extract its utmost value from it. Nobody really cares if you're miserable, so you might as well be happy. Life is about spending time together, about having the time to hold together, holding hands, talking quietly as they watch the sun go down. It wasn't glamorous, but it was in many ways the best thing that life had to offer. I can't be smug because I know that you can lose anything at any point, and I can be angry, but I haven't lost it. There is no ecstasy in paying attention. You can get into a kind of a words-worthy and openness to the world where you see in everything the essence of holiness. We're so busy watching out for what just is ahead of us that we don't even take time to enjoy where we are. The aim of life is to live, to be. Live means to be aware, joyously, drunkenly, serenely, divinely aware. Lend your ears to music. Open your eyes to paintings and stop thinking. In the same way that one has to accept the weather, so one has to accept how one feels about life sometimes. Today's crap day. It's perfectly a realistic approach. It's all about finding a mental umbrella. Hey ho, it's raining inside. Or isn't my fault or there's nothing I can do about it, but sit it out. But the sun may as well come out tomorrow, and when it does, I shall take full advantage. Joy is to fun what deep seas are to a puddle. It's a feeling inside. You can hardly be contained. The longer I live in a more beautiful life, the more beautiful life becomes. If you foolishly ignore the beauty, you will soon find yourself without it. Your life will be impoverished. But if you invest in the beauty, if you remain with you all the days of your life, it'll remain with you. Very occasionally, if you really pay attention, life doesn't suck. You could become blind by seeing each other or seeing or seeing each day as a similar one. Each day is a different one. Each day brings a miracle of its own. It's just a matter of paying attention to this miracle. Many people need desperately to receive the message. I feel and think as much as you do, care about many things you care about. Although most people do not care about them, you are not alone. A happy man is too satisfied with the present to dwell too much on the future. Even if happiness forgets you a little bit, never completely forget about it. If you can't make it better, you can laugh at it. You should eat delicious things while you can. Still eat them. Go to the wonderful places while you still can. And not have evenings where you say to yourself, what am I doing here? Why am I here? I'm bored witless. When you dance, your purpose is not to get a certain place on the floor. It's just to enjoy each step along the way. You draw, you must close your eyes and sing. To draw, you must close your eyes and sing. Remember that there's only 3 kinds of things anyone needs to ever do. Number 1, things ought to do. 2, things we've got to do. 3, things we like to do. I like this because some people seem to be spending too much time on the things for one of the 3 reasons. Things like reading books they don't like because other people read them. For like a shaft clear and cold, the thought pierced him that in the end of the shadow was only a small passing thing. There was a light and a high beauty for each beyond its reach. We are all worms, but I do believe I am a glowworm. Dear old world, she murmured, you are very lovely, and I'm glad to have been alive in you. Dear old world. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. It is a visual joy to watch the grays in the morning light turn to the color by the sun, watch the evenings with the color saturations and shadows, see how the no-on-day Sunday flattens, how colors sing on a rainy day. I know the joy of fishes in the river through my own joy. As I go walking along the same river, it is not doing what you like, but in liking what you do, that is the secret to happiness. If you live once, and a life is wonderful, so eat the damn red velvet cupcake. Have you ever seen the dawn? Not a dawn groggy with black sleep and hectic with mindless obligations that you're about to rush off into a early adventure or a business, but a full, deep silence and absolute clarity of perception, a dawning which you're truly observing, a degree by degree, in this most amazing moment of birth. And more than anything, it can spur you to action. Have a birthing day. One regret, dear world, is that I'm not determined. I am determined not to have when I'm lying on my deathbed is that I did not kiss you enough, dear world. I believe in dancing. There is always something to celebrate, whether it's the first green tip of the snowdrop pushing up the gathering of the sun-crisped shirts fresh off the clothesline. There are flowers to count and fruit to harvest. Be conscious and hold on as we spin around the sun one more time. Finally, I figured that the only reason to be alive is to enjoy it. Fun is good. It's like, wait a minute, this is it. This is your life. We only have this moment as good as any other, and it's perfect. Stuff your eyes with wonder. Live as if you drop dead in 10 seconds. See the world. It's more fantastic than any dream ever made or paid for in any factories. Sometimes people let the same problems make them miserable for years when they could just say, so what? That's one of my favorite things to say. So what? Exuberance is beauty. My advice is you not try to inquire why or whither, but just enjoy the ice cream while it's on your plate. The reality is that we're all in the wilderness and we have to survive on our own, and things are constantly changing. And if we don't accept that, then you're just trying to be a fool with yourself. But the beauty of wilderness is sometimes that you can wake up in the morning and feel so sweet and whole. If you have good thoughts, you will shine out from your face like sunbeams, and you will always look lovely. Every day is like Saturday morning. You got a great feeling and it grows and grows and grows. The moment one gives close attention to anything, even a blade of grass, it becomes mysterious, awesome, indescribably magnificent in a world in itself. I had a late eureka experience not long ago. I was up around where I live and looked out at the blue skies and the clouds and realized this was paradise. And it was something pretty big to hang on to. The universe is not outside of you. Look inside of yourself. Everything that you want, you already are. It's snowing still, said Ione gloomily. So it is, and freezing it is. Yes, and I, however, he said, brighten up a little. We haven't had an earthquake lately. We should live every day like people who have just been rescued from the moon. I think the thing to do is to enjoy the ride while you're on it. The moments of happiness we enjoy take us by surprise. It is not from which we seize them, but that they seize us. We must risk delight. We can do without pleasure, but not delight, not enjoyment. Seize every moment, its unique novelty, and do not prepare for joys. Be fully awake to everything about you, and more you can appreciate and get full measure of joy and happiness out of life. Every place is under the stars. Every place is the center of the world. With all its sham drudgery and broken dreams, it's still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. There's a sunrise and a sunset every single day, and you're absolutely free, so don't miss them. Many of them. Dance, creature, put down the pen and lift up your limbs and dance to greet another golden morning. Cheerfulness is an achievement, and hope is something to celebrate. Feet, what do I need you for when I have wings to fly? Get a life in which you are generous. Look around at the azaleas, making fuchsia star bursting in the spring. Look at the full moon hanging silver in the black sky on a cold night, and realize life is glorious and that you have no business taking it for granted. For God's sake, keep your eyes open. There's always a reason to smile. Find it. After all, you're really lucky just to be alive. Life is short. More and more I agree with my little brother. He always reminded me, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. This snowy morning, the black crow, I hated so much, but he's beautiful. Let me be grateful to the people who makes us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. Lean back and be loved by all that is already loving you. The best way to pay for a lovely moment is to enjoy it. Remember that your natural state is joy, to look at everything always as though you were seeing it either for the first time or the last time. Thus, in your time on earth, fill it with glory. We were made to enjoy music, to enjoy beautiful sunsets, to enjoy looking at the billows of the sea, to be thrilled with the rose that is bedecked with dew. Be happy wherever you can manage it. Even enjoy yourself. It's lighter than you think. Laughter is wine for the soul. Laughter softens or louds or deep, tinged through with seriousness, the hilariousness declaration made by man that life is worth living. Practice kindness all day to everybody, and you will realize you're already in heaven now. We pray for the big things and forget to give thanks for the ordinary small and yet really not small gifts. The sun shines not on us, but in us. The rivers flow not past, but through us, thrilling, tingling, vibrating every fiber and cell of the substance of our bodies, making them glide and sing. The trees wave and the flowers bloom in our bodies as well as our souls in every bird song, wind song, tremendous storm song. All of the rocks in the heart of the mountains is our song, our very own, and sings our love. I like it when a flower or little tuft of grass grows through a crack in the concrete. It's like fucking heroic. I don't think of all the misery, but of the beauty that still remains. You could dance and dance joy, and you could dance dreams, and I know if you could make you smile by jumping over a couple of couches or running through a rainstorm, then I'll be very glad to be a song and dance man. When I was a 5-year-old, my mother always told me that happiness is the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment. I told them they didn't understand life. The earth has music for those who listen. Don't just live, be the other thing connected to death. Be life. Live all of your life. Understand it, see it, appreciate it, and have fun. Dreams come true. Without that possible nature would not incite us to have the dreams. There are some days when I think I'm going to die from an overdose of satisfaction. You have to make your own happiness wherever you are. Your job isn't going to make you happy. Your spouse isn't going to make you happy. The weather isn't going to make you happy. You have to decide what you want. You have to find the way of doing it. Whether or not outside circumstances are going to participate in your success, you have to be the one who is able to create your own happiness, period. And if you can't, then you need to find a good shrink who can help you figure out what it's going to take. I think happiness is what makes you pretty, period. Happy people are beautiful. They become like a mirror and they reflect that happiness. Let us toast to animal pleasures, to escapism, to rain off the roof and instant coffee, to unemployment insurance and library cards, to an absinthe and a good-hearted landlord, to music and warm bodies and contraceptives, and to the good life, whatever it is and wherever it happens to be. When you have learned how to listen to trees, and then the brevity of the quickness and the childlike hastiness of our own thoughts achieve an uncomparable joy. You have always thought that a big laugh is really loud noise from the soul saying, "Ain't that the truth?" A clear horizon, nothing to worry about on the plate, only things that are creative and not destructive. I can't bear quarreling. I can't bear feeling between people. I think hatred is wasted energy, and it's all non-productive. I'm very sensitive. A sharp word said by the person who has a temper, if they're close to me, hurts me for days. I know we're only human, but we do go in for various emotions. Call them negative emotions. But when all these can be removed and you can look forward on the road and it's clear ahead, and now you're going to create something, I think that's as happy as I'll ever be. There is a sort of elation about sunlight on the upper part of the house. Now and then, it's good to pause in our pursuit of happiness and just be happy. In life, in true life, there can be nothing better than what is. In the external scheme of things, shining moments are brief as the twinkling of the eye, yet the twinklings are what eternity is made of. The moments from which a human can say, "I love you, I'm proud of you, I forgive you, I'm grateful for you." That's what eternity is made of. Invisible, imperishable, good stuff. When was the last time you looked at the stars with the wonder that they deserve? You say grace before meals, all right, but I say grace before the concert, the opera, grace before the play, and grace before I open a book, and grace before sketching, painting, swimming, fencing, boxing, walking, playing, dancing, and grace before I dip the pen into the ink. Delight in the little things. You have so much to enjoy and to be and to do. The living moment is everything. Listen to the birds. That's where all the music comes from. Birds know everything about it. Show sound and where the sound should come from. And watch hummingbirds. They fly really fast, but a lot of times they aren't even going anywhere. Be happy for this moment. This moment is your life. Your body is not a temple. It's an amusement park. Now enjoy the ride. At some point in life's worlds, beauty becomes enough. You don't need the photograph paint or even remember it. It is enough. Though it may feel otherwise, enjoying life is no more dangerous than apprehending it with continuous anxiety and gloom. Happiness is right in front of you. The most waste of all days is the one without laughter. One of the things Uncle Alex found objectable about human beings was that they're so rarely noticed, and when they were happy, he himself did his best to acknowledge it. When times were sweet, he would be drinking lemonade in the shade of an apple tree in the summertime, and Uncle Alex would interpret the conversation to say, "If this isn't nice, what is?" So I hope that you will do the same for the rest of your lives. When things are going sweetly, peacefully, please pause a moment and say out loud, "If this isn't nice, what is?" Give me a moment, because I like to cry for joy. It's so delicious to cry for joy. Never before have I lived through a storm like the one last night. The sea has a look of indescribable grandeur, especially when the sun falls on it. One feels as if one is dissolved and merged into nature. Even more than usual, one feels the insignificance of the individual, and it makes one happy. Nobody cares if you can't dance well. Just get up and dance. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can enjoy today. I have no money, no resources, no hopes. I am the happiest man alive. The true way to live in enjoyment is in every moment as it passes, and surely it is in every day, things around us, that the beauty of our life lies. I believe in having fun first, and along the way, if you teach people, if you influence people well and good, a man is happy so long as he chooses to be happy. The time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. Happiness is excitement that is found and settled down place, but there is always a little corner that keeps flapping around. Scattered joy. How to be happy. When you are miserable, plant Japanese poppies and cornflowers and mignonette, and bed out of the petunias among the sweet peas, so that they shall scent each other. See the sweet peas coming up. Drink very good tea out on a thin Worcester cup, and the color between the apricot and the pink. The most important thing is to enjoy your life. Be happy. It's all that matters. I wouldn't waste a day, not an hour, not a moment. Take what you want, and damn caution, live in joy. Feed ravenously. Or the biggest regret is you'll have at the end of your life is that you've wasted time. Dance, even if you have nowhere to do it, but in your own living room. I believe that life is a game. Life is a cruel joke, and life is what happens when you're alive, and that you might as well lie back and enjoy it. A passionate interest in what you do is the secret to enjoy life. Perhaps the secret of a long life, whether you're helping an old person or children, or making cheese or growing earthworms. If you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. By definition, you have to live until you die. Better to make that life as complete and enjoyable with experiences as possible, in case death is shite, which I suspect it will be. Everything is excess. To enjoy the flavors of life, take in big bites. Moderation is for the monks. You have everything needed for the extravagant journey that is in your life. There are two things to aim for in your life. First, to get what you want, and after that, to enjoy it. Only the wisest of mankind achieve the second. I believe that half the trouble in the world comes from people asking, what have I achieved, rather than what have I enjoyed? I began to realize how important it was to be an enthusiast in life. He taught me that if you are interested in something, no matter what it is, to go at it full speed ahead, embrace with both arms, hug it, love it. Above all, become passionate about it. Lukewarm is no good. Hot is no good either. White hot and passionate is the only thing to be. If you spend your life waiting for the storm, you'll never enjoy the sunshine. It's all right to be happy. You don't have to be constantly manufacturing problems you don't really have. When I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. Life is a roller coaster, the best damn ride in the park. You don't have to close your eyes. Hold on. Wait for it to be over, babe. Keep your eyes open. Lift your hands straight up in the air and enjoy the ride for as long as it lasts. Man is fond of counting his troubles, but he does not count his joys. If he counted them up, he ought to know. He would see every lot has enough happiness provided for it. When you take a flower in your hand and really look at it, it's your world for a moment. And to me also, who appreciates life is the butterflies and the soap bubbles and whatever is like them amongst us seem most to enjoy happiness. I think it's really tragic when people get serious about stuff. It's such an absurdity to take anything really seriously. I mean, I make an honest attempt not to take anything seriously. I worked that attitude out about the time I was 18. I mean, what does it all mean when you get right down to what's the story here? Being alive is so weird. Observe the wonders as they occur around you. Don't claim them. Feel the artistry moving through and just be silent. Clouds come floating into my life, no longer to carry rain or to usher storms, but just to add color to my sunset sky. The earth was warmer under me. The warmth and I crumbled through the fingers. Queer little red bugs came out and moved in the slow squadrons around me. Their backs were polished vermilion with the black spots. I kept as still as I could. Nothing happened. I did not expect anything to happen. It was something that lay under the sun and felt it, like the pumpkins. I did not want to be anything more. I was entirely happy. Perhaps feel like that's how you feel when you die and become a part of something entire, whether it is the sun or the air or goodness and knowledge. At any rate, That is happiness, to be dissolved into something complete and great. When it comes to one, it comes naturally as I sleep. So far, so good. You were given life. It is your duty, and also you're entitled as a human being to find something beautiful within life, no matter how slight. Every day is a great day. It's a day extra. I don't look ahead. I'm right here with you. It's a good way to be. Something is important, always about to happen, and if not, you'll do well to act as if it were. You'll always enjoy life better that way. Today was good. Today was fun. Tomorrow is another one. Live, travel, adventure, bless, and don't be sorry. All I could say about life is, oh God, enjoy it. Life is meant to be fun, joyous, fulfilled. Each of yours be that. Having each of you have a child of mine has certainly been one of the good things in my life. Know that I've always loved each of you as an eternal, bottomless love, a love that has nothing to do with each other, for I feel my love for each of you is total and all-encompassing. Please watch out for each other and love and forgive everybody. It's a good life. Enjoy it. I can hardly wait for tomorrow. It means a new life for me each day and every day. You know Dalton Trumbo? He wrote Johnny Got His Gun. He was the one of the blacklisted writers, spent time in prison, lost everything, got everything back, wonderful fellow. The last thing he said to me was, don't forget to be happy. The sun is still there, even if the clouds drift over it. Once you have experienced the reality of sunshine, you may weep, but you will never feel ice about your heart again. All that I ever hope to say is that I love the world. There is always something to celebrate. Nothing is worth more than this day by Kathryn and Ross Petras. Read by Randy Bear, Michael Reta.